Can we do this together? Bye, bye, Miss American Pie. I drove my Chevy to the levee, but the levee was dry. Good old boys were drinking whiskey and rye, singing, this'll be the day that I cry. This'll be the day that I cry. You know why? Because when Noah starts to cry, Noah fills up the basin. And no more missing whiskey, and no more the gulch is dry. I'm going to show you how this song becomes relevant in numbers. Now, I was looking at the bell curve of the moon. I was looking at the division of the two mountains where the river met inside the valley, and the river fox came in as the two sides were zippered together. Billy Goat, Île in Billy Goat are islands. It also says it's his island. Île, Seal, the islands, the seal from the eyes. His, the word his, is two worlds of 4 and 4, because 8 means two sides of 4. IS is 15 or 9, and 19 is 28, two sides of the moon. Inside this becomes 985. 985, the end result, equals to a whole lot of numbers we're not going to talk about, but we will talk about. We're looking for 2-to-1 odds. When you go to the game of craps, they say yo 11. 4 and 10 pays you 2-to-1. But not on the come-out roll. Not when you come into life. It's only after life. So you can get 4 and 4, 5 and 5 by a manner of 2 and 2, which now pays you, I think, 6-to-1. 6-to-1 odds on 4 gives you 24, gives you the day. Or it gives you the same 6-to-1 if the 5-5 comes in, which gives you the 60 minutes of the hour. Now, the odds might differ. It doesn't matter what number it is. I'll just explain the reality that goes with the difference of the numbers. You get 4 and 6, which is a regular payout, but in this payout, they give you 9-to-5. For every 5 that you are, they give you the 9 of life because the other 4 are free. You remember what they said? The other 4 are free. So you have 2 and 2, 4 and 6, 4 and 10. The difference between 10 and 4 is the 6. The difference between 2 and 4 is 2. So 2 and 6 and 2 and 4 are the difference between 4 and 10. 24 hours to the 26th dog, 104. The hand of God inside the Day of Atonement. The Day of Atonement inside the tombs, inside the Torah, the scrolls. Torah has two sides. The scroll only has one long story. So talking about the Dead Sea Scrolls, this might be real Torah. In the old Torah, you couldn't rip the snake apart, could you? Every time you ripped the snake apart, this is what you did in the old Torah, in the scrolls. If you were in Torah and you ripped the Torah apart, this is the way it would look like. You add a piece of page here, you add another page here, you sew this together. And this one over here, this is the scroll. So you add a page here, you sew this together. You add a page here, you sew this together. So the scrolls you're signing together by the I, and here you're adding H. Here you're creating history. Here it's the I, the reality of time. So this is the bondage in the center right over here. I'm not going to work on that number right now. But drove to the levee till the levee was dry. Meet at the V. You know what it is, right? We'll meet at the big top, right? The yawning or the awning, meet at the big top, right? Remember I showed you how to put this design? You remember when I told you go to the second corner, go from here to the second corner? When in a bell curve, this is what it looks like. The same as this. This is at the bottom where the levee was dry. When the levee is dry, okay, when they talk about let's go meet and have some drinks at the levee, okay, this is actually a martini glass down here. Okay, the reason for that, going down, this is in between the mountain, remember, going down into the mountain, this becomes the letter G, and it's dry. Now I'm going to explain to you, when it's dry, there's no vibration in the water. You can't bang on the walls. You bang on the wall, it hits the water, it hits this little turnstile over here. This turnstile turns around from this side to this side. He gives his information to this side. He gives his information for this side. When the levee is dry, you have a G. But this is what the levee looks like. It's a V. The V is for levee, V-Y, levee, because it's the exchange of the information, the E of the EE of two sides. All I have to do is turn this and this, what's on this side, goes to what's on this side. What's on this side could be stopped, or what's on this side is two different levels. They send it out here, and you get it here. You turn this around, it comes out up here. He puts his stuff in here, you put your stuff in here, you turn it around. This is on this side, this is on this side. You both got the exchange. This, okay, is when you go to a bar that's in the Bahamas, they have bars in the middle of the pool. But if the pool was dry, I wouldn't meet you at the levee, right? I wouldn't meet you at the levee. So that's Mars dry. Levee, Mars dry. Levee was dry. But levee, W-A-S, is actually saying Mars. Because W is the 23rd letter. 3 times 6 is 18. 2 times 6 is 12. Left and right side. You connected the left to the right side. You met in the levee because you don't meet on his side of the levee. You meet on your side of the levee, but you exchange on the levee. If you piss in the water on your side, his water will have piss in it. That's more or less what it is. So here in the number 10 spot, the highest number we had is 10 and 6 equaling to 16. 1 and 6 is 7. And the lowest number we have from the 10 is a 2. So we get a 12. That is the blue world. 0 equals 6. 2 and 10. This is in blue. Blue and pool. 8 apart. Find the balls 8 apart. Find what's 8 apart. You'll understand. Okay. 2 and 10. The difference is 8. Time heaven. That is the moon. 12 plus 6, because this is a 0, equals to 18. 1 and 8 becomes 9. 4 and 10 becomes the creation. 14 creates the 9. That's your 23. That 23 gets the automatically had already for here. 10 plus 4 is 14. Okay, I'm trying to remember how we created the 9. Yes, the separation over here. The separation was 8. We had the 6 on. 16, 17, 18. And 4 is 22. Why am I not seeing what I'm looking? 10 plus 4, the high and the low, equals to 14. 0 equals 6. Make it worth 20. 14, make it worth 20. 20 gets the 0, make it worth 26. Once you get to 26, which is a division of 2 of 13, 13 and 13 is 7 times 13 equals 91. This is 1/4 times 4 times 91 equals 364 plus 1.25. Because there's 1.25 missing at the end of the last 13 moon. This is 13 moons by 28 days. So I'm just trying to show you how 10 and 5. So 5 and 10 is your 15. 10 and 5. Add 6 to it. That becomes your 21. Everything this here, 10 plus 5 is 20. Plus 6, this becomes your 26. Because the other world, 5, has intercepted your 5. This 5 has boxed in this 5. And these 4 corners, okay, what happened is this is what happened. They went and they sliced off your balls. They sliced off your ball with their ball. They overlaid the record player. The record was on 45, and they cut them up with 33s. So there were 4 33s, and they put a 45 over it, intercepting. I hope I explained that right. And at the end of it, it looks like a barbecue. They're sitting by a barbecue. It could be a man with no head. There's a standing here. There's no head on this guy. And all you hear between this side and this side is blah, 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 blah. And in between this, there's a vibration between the two, almost like the cone of silence. I'm just bringing up the relevance of everything. So the levee was dry. If the levee was dry, you see the top, okay? If the levee is dry, you see the V. Sitting in the G and G, because it shows, G and G shows there's a division and a platform to be at. This is the G and G. 7 and 7 at the levee, 5 and 5, 57, 75. I drove my levee to the Chevy to the levee, but the levee was dry. Filled her up, because the only way to communicate is for the blood to flow, it's for the oceans to move, and you need the oceans to move to communicate. And if there's no levee, there's no Chevy, there's no Chevy in your gut, and this all is relevant to creation. Everything is ABC. I will put it together a lot better. The video is okay. Thank you very much for watching. 5775. Through all the energies that I've been going through right now, I have not forgot any of you. None of you. I cannot mention all your names to be unfair that I would forget one. You all know in your own hearts, and you all know yourself who you feel like who you are to me without me having to announce it. We never want to speak, because then when we don't speak, we think there's something wrong. We need to feel and understand the difference. Raphael, thank you.